you have a good idea of what this class looks like and some of the assignments that we'll be working on, let's talk about your teacher's guide. These guides are written to be very versatile and to help you know your curriculum in depth, but also at just a glance. So let's take a look at one and see what it is I'm talking about. Here you can see that this is one of your teacher's guides. This top banner will tell you a lot of information, such as the number of teacher's guide that this is, the lesson that it corresponds to as well. The next session will also have the name of the unit, followed by the project number and name. Here's a brief summary that includes things like the art terms being covered, the art history being discussed, and the expectations of students while they're making their artwork. It will also mention a recommended period of time for this lesson. Like I said, this is completely based off of what you feel best suits your students' needs. It's all laid out so that way it should be read well before you actually deliver this lesson. And this is for you to know rather than for you to glance at and just to quickly look at as you're delivering this content. However, the section below that is a much quicker list that can be kind of viewed at a pretty quick glance. This section will list things that are required and recommended tools for this lesson, and it also gives the recommended amount of time for the lesson. Under this will be the learning objectives and learning outcomes, as well as the standards that this curriculum is aligned with. The listed national standards are what I've built each project and each lesson off of. Each lesson will be aligned with one 8th grade National Visual Arts Standard, one 8th grade National Media Arts Standard, one high school proficient visual arts standard, and one high school proficient media arts standard, meaning that all lessons in this course are suitable for both 8th and 9th grade students. Below that is a layout of the specific assignments in this lesson. This can be viewed very quickly at just a glance, and it can also be used to be written on the board to show students what their objectives for the day should be. You can also break these lessons up into much smaller chunks based off what you think is obtainable for students to get done in each session, or you can add to them if you feel like students will be finishing up a lesson in a setting. Beside each assignment is a minimum recommended amount of time for how long students will need for that assignment. Some students might rush through them, but these amounts of times that I've shown are usually going to be the minimum that students will need. Below that is a detailed layout of the events for this lesson. Here's where you will receive detailed advice about how to deliver certain assignments for more guidance on things such as class art critiques, class discussions, and other more in-depth assignments. And that is your teacher's guide breakdown. It's really pretty easy to follow once you've looked it through, and I always recommend that you review your teacher's guide well before you actually deliver the curriculum, but also keep a teacher's guide that you know you'll be referencing during your time in the classroom up and on your screen, and that is your teacher's guide's breakdown. It's pretty easy once you've looked at it and kind of read through it all the way once. I also recommend that you review your teacher's guide well in advance of actually delivering this content, and then review it once more at least a day or two in advance of actually starting the lesson as well. And of course, feel free to keep it up on your computer so you can use those lists and glance at them to help guide your decision making on how to use your classroom time. Feel free to refer back to this lesson on the teacher's guide as frequently as you need and to make sure that you keep yourself and your students on track. With that, I think you are ready to move on to our very next video and see exactly what to expect from this class in each lesson. I'll see you there.